Today, I'm making clay wall hangings. Some assembly required. Hello! This project is sort of a combination of the hammered metal mobiles that we did with macrame and the positive wall hanging short that I did the other day with polymer clay and fringe. They should end up being like a series of clay shapes cascading down the wall. At least that is how I'm picturing it. Let's see. Here's what I think I'm going to need. I'm going to work with polymer clay and jump rings and cord for fringe. You could also use like a yarn or string, whatever you wanted, if you wanted fringe. Instead of jump rings, you could use chain, which is kind of similar actually, or you could use cord or string to connect everything together. I think this project should be pretty straightforward and there should be a lot of different ways to customize the look, so let's see what we can come up with. I think I have too many ideas in my head, so I'm having a hard time choosing which shapes and which colors, and if I want fringe. I'm gonna have to cut some shapes out of junk mail, and maybe that will give me an idea of how they'll actually look all put together. Yeah, I'm not sure that helped. I was thinking that I could use these as templates to cut my shapes out, but they're kind of huge and they're actually a little bit uninspiring. I'll just jump into the clay. What's the worst that could happen? I've warmed up a little selection of clay in a color palette that might match Lily's new room decor. I thought it would be easier to be inspired by something rather than starting from absolutely nothing. The nice thing about using clay is that you can just move the pieces around, change the shapes, add a little, take a little away, until you end up with something that you like. I think we're satisfied by this layout, so it's time to make some holes. I am planning to connect all of these pieces with jump rings, so I am trying to make the holes big enough and close enough to the edge so that they fit together with just one ring, but not so close that the edge of the hole is weak and everything breaks. That is not what I'm looking for. Yes! Now this guy can hang out on the baking sheet until all the rest are ready. I also want to try making a bigger one with fringe at the bottom. I'm going to use this leftover clay from an old maker crate because I don't want to waste a whole heap of good clay on something that might turn out super ugly. This leftover clay is really sticky and gooey, so I'll just go for a simple and rustic look because I think I'll be getting that anyway, no matter what I do. Okay, I think I like the look so far. I'm adding a bunch of holes at the bottom to hold the fringe. Lily is mixing some super light pastels for her wall hanging, and I'm using my waiting time wisely. Ooh, her colors look so pretty together. She'll just finish shaping them and then we'll bake the clay. I have my oven set to 275 Fahrenheit and I'm baking them for about 15 minutes per 1/4 of an inch. Everything except for the white clay is really thin, so it just needs one quick 15. But I'm gonna leave the white in for a little bit longer because it's really weird and I'm not convinced that it's cooking. Here they are, out of the oven and cooled off. All that's left is attaching them all together. I will be using jump rings to attach mine. For this smaller one, I'm going to try one jump ring for each join. I'm just opening up each jump ring, trying not to pull it apart and distort it. Slide it through the teeny little holes. They probably could have been a teeny bit bigger. And then close them up. I'm going to put this one together with kind of a chain of jump rings between each piece. That way there'll be a little bit more space between the pieces and they'll swing a little more freely. Let's see how that looks. Down here at the bottom, I'm going to attach the fringe to these bigger rings. I really like the color of this nylon cord, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be irritating to work with. My first thought was to loop the cord through with like a lark's head knot, but I was right. It is so slippery that the knot is not staying at all. Plan B. For attempt number 2, I'm stringing all the little cords through the ring and then tying a wrap knot to secure it. Oh, nothing about this is elegant. It feels like it's just trying to get away from me the whole time. Ah! Okay, I'll just very carefully try to make this wrap knot tight and pretty, or as pretty as I can, and then cut off the extra cord. Now for the others! Maybe some tape will help. Oh my goodness, that took a lot of patience, but I think it actually turned out pretty cool. I even like it in front of this blue wall. Or the black fireplace. Neon yellow is more versatile than you would think. Lily has already found a special hanging place for the one that matches her room, and here is a little sneak peek at the colors that it was trying to match. And finally, here are the 2 wall hangings that Lily made with clay and string. They're so cheerful. See, you can make these all kinds of different ways to match with your decor. They don't take a lot of technical know-how, and they're pretty cool by the end. I bet you could also attach the clay shapes together with some delicate chain or macrame or something like that for a different look, a little more texture. And the possible color combinations are just mind-blowing. I can't even wrap my head around all the different possibilities. So really, I think that these could fit anywhere and they would look really cool. We were also thinking that you could hang a few of the little smaller ones together, like if you wanted a bunch of different colors and you wanted to make the shapes a little bit more small, you could attach them all to the same dowel or branch and they could hang there for a little bit higher impact. These were pretty fun to make and I like the way that they turned out. If you enjoyed watching this video as much as I like making it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of video and you're not subscribed yet, you can do that right underneath here in the video. Click the all notifications bell while you do so you don't miss anything. New videos come out every Saturday morning, so stay tuned for the next one. And until then, be awesome, and I'll see you then. Bye!